Are we back? I think we are back. Not sure uh what not sure what happened, but the stream just cut out. Uh Wi-Fi did not let me down. Wi-Fi was still connected. Wi-Fi did not let me down. Wi-Fi was still connected. Yeah, Wi-Fi was connected. Not sure exactly what happened there. We just cut out. Uh so at the time of rejoining, we are at 8 minutes. Kimi has provisional P1. It's not really useful right now, but Kimi right now leads with a 130 flat. He's 400s faster than Leclerc and about 310s faster than Oscar in P3. Not sure what happened, man. Live just cut out, stream just cut out. Not sure what happened. Anyways, we're continuing from where we left off. This will be part two of the qualifying. This will be part two. I'll label this part two, and the previous one will be part one. Yeah. So the drop zone right now, we have both Astons, both Cadillacs, and we have both Williams. So I thought one Williams would go out. It seems Franco Colapinto does have some decent pace in him. George complaining about no rears. Not sure if it's tire temps. Again, this is a figure of 8 circuit, right? So it loops on to itself, meaning that you weigh out both sides of your tires, your left side and your right side. You wear them both out equally, more or less equally. Now, Georgie did lose out time. Georgie right now is about 6 tenths down on Kimi. So, not sure what happened. Did you stop working again? No, it's going. Yeah, so not sure what happened exactly because when the live cut out, I had to close the streaming window as well. Lewis heading through the hairpin after the bridge, after the double Lesmos. He's on the back straight to spoon curve. Got clipping, pace slowed down, quick on entry, hugging the inside entry. Goes wide onto the exit curb, doesn't even bother with the inside curb, that's perfect. Goes onto the line, not onto the curb. Kept it clean. Spoon curve, he kept it clean. Car almost around the entry of 130. Through the chicane. Does he have a wiggle? No, he doesn't have a wiggle. We saw Aston Martin's getting wiggles on coming out of the Lesmos, especially Fernando. Not sure what happened on the exit. Normally, all the cars do go onto the curbs, but Fernando just got a whole lot of oversteer. Not sure what happened with him during practice. As it stands, Leclerc leads. He leads Kimi. He just came over the line. He's put in a 129.9. He leads Kimi by about a tenth, and Hamilton is in P3 about 4 tenths behind. In the drop zone, both Astons, both Cadillacs, no surprise. No surprise at all. And both Williams, I thought one Williams for sure, maybe Carlos, because it just felt like he had the more difficult weekend of the two cars. But yeah, both of them seem to be in the drop zone. Now with 4:30 to go, 4 minutes 30 to go, all the cars are in the pits. They are getting that race trim fuel, just the out lap, push lap, in lap fuel, and getting a new set of tires, new set of rubber to go for that one and final push lap. They're going for their Hail Marys. Verstappen took pole by 1/100th of a second last season when he pushed that tractor early on. Let's not forget, in the first half of the previous season, our car was a tractor. Let's not forget, it was all McLaren throughout the whole season, but especially in the first part, our car was a tractor, and Max managed to pull it to pole, and he ended up winning. He beat both McLarens. And then, of course, in the second half, we had the resurgence when the whole racing community finally gave Max his dues. Finally said, no, this guy he is the one in a generational talent. But yeah, Max, I don't think he has it in him to pull this tractor to pole. Q3 will be doable. Pole is not doable, especially when you have the Silver Arrows running at the top and leading the field, and you have the occasional Ferraris. Max coming through the Degnas, he had a whole lot of corrections he had to make. They just showed the onboard. He had a whole lot of corrections to make. Coming down the back straight towards Spoon Curve. What happens on the exit? Does he run wide? He's kept it clean. He's kept it in line. He's kept it on track. A bit of dust coming off the exit of Spoon Curve. Pushing down the straight into 130 yard, no traffic, so can take that corner at full tilt without compromising his line. Heading into the final chicane, there's a car gets out the way. I think it's a Cadillac, got out the way quite well. Coming down the straight, where does he end up? He ends up P6, 6/10 down. Max ends up 6/10 down on Leclerc. Leclerc, the only car sub 130. Only car sub 130. Isaac Hadjar comes over the line. He goes about a 10th and a half behind Max. Norris car, was it Norris? No, it was George. George came over the line. He was around the P10 mark, and with that lap, he's gone second fastest. He's about 500s down on Charles. 500s down on Charles. Oof. So both Ferraris with a minute to go. Both Ferraris are in the pits. Kimi's in the pits. Georgie needed that lap. He needed to save himself from an possible elimination. I don't think he would have been eliminated, but you can never be too safe, especially because he wasn't towards the top end of the grid. His time was quite slow. So where do we stand? Again, both Williams, both Cadillacs, both Astons in the drop zone. Alex on a push lap, Liam on a push lap. Ollie started his lap. Who else is starting his lap? Both the Cadillacs are starting their line. Maybe the McLarens and the other Williams of Sainz. Yeah, Sainz will start his lap. Alex is improving. Alex has set purple sectors. Liam has set purple sectors. Fernando's setting purple. I'm saying purple sectors. Setting personal best (PB). Personal best sectors. Albon just goes into 16th. One car overtakes him and is back into the drop zone. Liam to the line goes P9. He's safe. Fernando coming through the final chicane. He set personal sectors throughout. How much pace does he have? He's still going to be in the bottom 6. How much pace does he have? Not enough. He just overtakes Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll can't improve on his time. And Ollie, I'm not sure what his timing sector is. Both the Audis are across the line. They are safe, 6th and 7th. Both the Audis are safe. Bottas pushing for the line. Where is... So still no time on Ollie Behrman. Not sure what's going on with Ollie and Franco, if they're on a lap or not. Oscar's on a lap. He's just set a purple sector 2, fastest sector 2 of all. So Alex is out. Franco's just gone over the line and replaced Colapinto. Bottas to the line, stays P20. Checo. There's no timing up yet on Checo. So either way, Checo still out qualifies Bottas for P19. Not sure what's going on with Ollie. Ollie, I think we're riding on board with Ollie. He's in the pits. Ollie's out. Ollie's knocked out in Q1. Ollie's knocked out in Q1. Carlos Sainz impeding Hadja. Incident is noted. So with the end of Q2, Ollie Behrman, the shock elimination. The Haas running the Godzilla livery. It looks good, but I thought they would have put in some more detailing. Oh, jeez. Ollie Behrman, man, the surprise. So your eliminations are Alex Albon, Ollie Behrman, both Cadillacs, and both Aston Martins. I mentioned one Williams is not gonna make it into Q2. I thought it was Sainz. Turns out it's Alex. Alex had his birthday recently. I saw Lily's post about Alex hanging out with the old man. The old man seems to have lost his touch. I thought Alex was actually more stronger in qualifying with the Williams. If anyone remembers the Red Bull days, qualifying was a big issue for Alex. And then in the race, he used to spend the whole race recovering positions. And he would qualify out the top 10. And then he'd end up recovering positions the whole time. End up somewhere around P6, 7-ish, 8-ish. He had good race pace in Red Bull, just qualifying. He couldn't sort out. And there was that whole thing at the time where Pierre had half a season, Alex had half a season. Oh, it was all sorts of chaos, man. That one year, and then I think the following year, I think Alex had a full season, and then Alex was a reserve driver for a year, and then finally Red Bull released him and allowed him to race for Williams. So Alex has also not had an easy journey, man, in Formula One. It's not been the easiest of journeys for the fella, but he's hanging in there. He had good pace last season. Again, this season, new cars and all, you can't really compare last season's performances. But not sure what's going on with Alex. He seemed to me like he had sorted out his qualifying issues, that he could qualify decently, and with race pace, he could maintain or improve positions. But it seems he's struggling with qualifying again. Whether there was traffic, whether there was whatever. Maybe it's the car setup. This whole season he's been lagging behind in qualifying. So not sure what it is. Maybe he just needs to find a better setup with the car. He needs to fine tune the setup with the car. We've got a couple of minutes, let's just say maybe a minute or two before Q2 starts. Before Q2 starts, Bernie is having some reviews on what happened in between. Yeah, Bernie is looking at, I think, the Hasses. It was either the Hasses or the Williams. Bernie was just comparing the lap times, the time losses between the S's, between the final sector. Lost out a huge chunk. I think it was the Hasses because there's such a huge gap between the two. So Ferrari fans turned up in samurai Ferrari gear. Man, I love the enthusiasm of Japanese fans. If there's a race I get to go to in my lifetime, it should be Suzuka. The whole atmosphere in Japan, especially when the circus of Formula One rocks up, is phenomenal. Now talking about Q2. We are a green light for Q2. Green light for Q2. Uh, it will be a struggle for us for Red Bull. It is. I'm not sure what's going on. If it's the car, if it's the engine, if it's the aero, something is not working. And now we have this break coming up, so teams will be able to recover some performances, maybe gain some performances, but let's see what happens. Yeah, she was talking about Williams between Carlos and Alex, because Alex lost out a chunk of time in the S's. She just gave the final correction. It wasn't the S's, it was the Williams that she was talking about, where down the straight, down the S's, down the back straight and down the S's, Alex lost a chunk. Lewis, people have tipped Lewis to get pole. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not jumping on that train. I'm not. He he's no, to get the pole or the win. I don't think so. Kimi is opening up a lap into turn one. Carries speed using all the exit. Using He used all the exit curve on that occasion. Kept it tight. I'm not sure if he slowed down or if it's the wider angle. Not exactly sure. It's just okay. Finally, I have a camera. The feed just froze up. He's gone purple into sector one. Purple into sector one into the hairpin. He's kept it tight. He's kept it tight. He's not had a whole lot of wiggles going on. Hamilton's just put in the fastest first sector now. Heading into spoon curve. He's kept it smooth, kept it planted. Ran a bit more wider than I would have liked. Again, who am I? Uh, Gets the fastest sector too because he is the first guy to set a lap. Heading into the hairpin, keeps it clean. The car is planted, no over, no understeer. The car is clean and planted. Pushing down the pit straight, puts in a 127.7. How many is 2 tenths? 2 tenths faster than Q1. 3 tenths faster than Q1. George over the line goes 3 tenths down, 3.5 tenths down on Kimi. Hamilton over the line, he goes 131. Yeah, he's around the same lap time as George. Leclerc over the line. Ooh, Leclerc goes 10, 1 100 slower than Kimi, within a hundredth of a second slower than Kimi. Isaac Hadjar pushing to the line. Where does he go? 5.5 tenths down. 5.5 tenths down. Max is how many? Max is almost 6 tenths down. George is saying he's still struggling with the car. He's struggling with the traction, I think. He's been complaining a lot about his rear tires. It should be traction, or when they have that rear locking because of the regen systems and all. Arvid coming to the line out the chicane, looked a bit clumsy. He was 7th fastest, but he's about 9 tenths down on the fastest time. He's within a second of Kimi. A second separates the whole field right now. Of course, the other drivers are still setting times. Gabby sets. Where's Gabby? No, that was Nico. Nico sets a time of 6.5 tenths down on Kimi. Gabby to the line. Gabby goes 3 tenths down on Kimi. Used tires and new tires. I think Nico was on used tires, I think. Jeez. Okay. Liam set a time. He goes. Where's Liam? He goes second and 2 tenths down. Colapinto second and a tenth down. Oscar 2 purple sectors. All the main runners have had their shot. Oscar is in for a genuine shout at pole. Where does Oscar go? Through the final chicane, coming to the line. 129.4. Is this genuine pace? Is this genuine pace? Before the season started, I thought Oscar was gonna be in the fight for the championship. Oscar, the man, hasn't even done one racing lap this whole year, except for the sprint. Oscar's gone provisional pole. 129.451. Oscar leads the pack. He is 3 tenths and 2 hundredths ahead of Kimi in P2. Lando's matched who did he match Lando? They're just showing a replay of George having a whole lot of corrections through the chicane. Out the last corner. Took a lot of entry curve in the first part of the chicane. And then from there he just had a whole lot of corrections to make. Here comes the timing tower. Lando has gone similar pace with Leclerc and Kimi, about 3.5 tenths down on Oscar. I think Oscar, that was genuine pace. Last year as well, Oscar did quite well. Oscar, he ended up on the podium. I can't remember if it was P2. I think it was P2 last year. 7 minutes to go. Everyone is back into the pits. They're just playing the interview of Alex. He's been eliminated in Q1, so he's just given his interview. The question asked was what happened, and he's saying he doesn't want to talk about it. So he knows the issue. He's disappointed. It's persisting. This is the 3rd weekend it's persisting. Interesting. I think he knows the issue. David and them, Croft and them are hinting that there was a coded message in the team radio that was broadcasted that the team communicated to Alex and Alex understood, but it seems they're keeping everyone else out of the loop. Now Georgie's opening up a lap. into turn 1, turn 2, kept it clean. He's carried chunk. He's been on gas for a huge chunk. That's good. Heading into the S's, taking the perfect lines, not going onto the curb, staying on the white line at most. Heading into the first Degna. First Degna clobbers the curb, runs it a bit wide. That's fine. Degna 2, nice. That's nice. Heading into the hairpin, the heavy braking after the bridge. Oh, he's kept it clean. No lockups as yet. No lockups, no late braking and all this. He's kept it calm. Pushing into spoon curve. Not run wide. It's not got a wiggle on. It's gone a bit wide on exits of the spoon curve. Down the back straight into 130R. He will have clipping. He will lose out some speed. He's still barreling down the back straight into the chicane. Oh, he's got some corrections going into the final chicane. He's got some corrections going. Let's see where he ends up. He ends up 3 tenths. 3 tenths down. 3 tenths down on Oscar, but he's faster than KIMI. And this was on new tires, by the way. This was on new tires, and he's 3 tenths down. I think he lost it in that final chicane. He's hugging the entry of the chicane too much, and that is maybe offsetting the balance, offsetting the car, and he's getting wiggles on. 4 minutes 10 seconds to go. Lewis is on a lap. We are not sure who we're riding on board with. White helmet, so Lewis. We're riding on board with Lewis. Charles is also on a lap. Charles has put in the fastest first sector. Charles has gone 3 tenths faster than Oscar in the first sector alone. Hamilton, I didn't see the first sector split come up. Hamilton's second sector split will come up after he exits spoon curve. He's in spoon curve. He's kept it nice. On the exit, does he run wide? He's kept it tight on exit. He didn't run wide. Second sector split coming up for Lewis. He's 3 tenths down. 3 tenths down. 3.5 tenths down on Oscar. Where does Charles come? Charles is 2.5 tenths up on Oscar. Lewis at the final chicane to the line. He goes almost 5 tenths down. Almost 5 tenths down on Oscar. He lost out time. Leclerc, though, he goes a 10th.5 faster. We're missing. We can't lose this much pace. Have a look through everything. Russell is in panic mode. And in the midst of this, Leclerc went at 10th.5 faster than Oscar. Leclerc pulled out 2 personal bests and 1 purple sector, if I remember correctly. Max is on a lap, coming through the S's, trying to carry speed, having some corrections, minor corrections. That car seems like he's fighting that car. Coming into Degna 1, clobbers the apex, doesn't run wide on the exit. Into Degna 2, he was all over the curb, all over the exit curb. Into the hairpin, fine, no lockups. Now he's barreling down the back straight to spoon curve. Max is having a handful with this car. He's having a handful. Lando is on a lap. Oscar is on a lap. Oscar is 6 tenths down. So don't expect something miraculous. Max second sector split coming up. He goes a second down on Leclerc. He's basically 9 tenths down in the first 2 sectors on Leclerc. Into the final chicane, he's clobbering that car. He's just chucking that car and hoping things stick and work out for him. 9.5 tenths slower than Charles. He goes P9. Isaac Hadger behind him goes P8, he's 8 tenths down. 1.5 tenths difference between Isaac and Max, and Isaac is the faster car. Norris to the line doesn't improve. Oscar does. Why is he going to go to the line? Just pit. Yeah, both the McLarens didn't improve on their final runs. One of the Ferraris came through as well. Not sure they improved. Gasly coming through. He has some pace. He goes P6. Gasly goes P6. 129.8. He's about 5.5 tenths down. Hulkenberg, does he get out? No, he doesn't. Hulkenberg doesn't get out. Audi were looking promising in FP3. Bortoletto coming to the line, his final run. Where does he go? He stays in P8. He doesn't improve, but he's in P8. You have cars improving behind. Arvin coming through 2 personal best sectors to the line. Goes P10. Max is knocked out. Max is knocked out. Max is out of Q3. Max is out of Q3. Jeez. The rookie has knocked out Max Verstappen. Sheesh, hell. Kimi is on a lap. Kimi is improving on Leclerc. Leclerc went half a tenth faster than Oscar. Kimi is going faster than Leclerc. Kimi goes 2.5 tenths faster than Leclerc. 2.5 tenths faster than Leclerc. Kimi goes. Hamilton improves, but he's 5.5 tenths down on Kimi's new time. Oh, Georgie is having problems. Georgie finishes 7 tenths down. Something wrong with the car. Completely undrivable suddenly in this qualifying. Jumping on high speeds. Max's comment. Completely undrivable. Max starts P11. Max starts P11. He's out. Max is out. Nico Hulkenberg couldn't get out. The 2 Audis, both of them were looking promising for Q3. Nico unfortunately doesn't make it in. And the Racing Bulls that didn't look promising, one of them made it just in. Arvid Lindblad. Where's the standing? It's not been updated. Yeah, it's been updated. Here we go. Here we go. Load. It's not loading. Why are you refusing to load? I'm not sure what's going on. The result is not loading. Can't figure out what's going on. Live timings. What? It's not showing the live timings, man. What's going on? Okay, so Q2 is finished. Q2 has come to an end. Q2 has come to an end. Max has been knocked out. With the way that the car was handling. I wasn't gonna be surprised if a Red Bull went out in Q2. But it being Max who goes out in Q2, that is surprising for me. And that is surprising as hell. Franco Colapinto, P15. Lawson, 14. Hulkenberg, 13th. Ocon, 12th. Max still is 11th. Who am I missing? Color Signs as well. The other Williams doesn't make it through. Yeah, the other Williams doesn't make it through. Oh boy. It's one of those. What are you gonna do? Car is not there. Max complaining continuously about the car, the handling, the performance. Oh boy. So let's take a look at his onboard. into turn one. Into turn one, a lot of understeer. The car wanting to run wide. The car is not wanting to turn in, and he's consistently putting minor inputs. It seems he doesn't have front grip. He doesn't have front end. Front is just sliding. The front is just sliding. Heading into the Degnas. The first Degna was fine. Degna 2, it looked decent, but he ran out wider than he would have wanted. Through the hairpin, he had to delay. He had to delay acceleration out the hairpin. That understeer is killing Max. He's not a fan of understeer. He would way rather prefer oversteer. Into spoon curve, into the entry of spoon curve. He's turned in to the first apex, to the entry apex, and then he's just ran wide, and he's waiting. The guy is understeering, and the whole way through that whole curve, right? So this is the curve. From here, he's just had understeer, and that front end is not biting one bit. That front end has no interest in what Max wants today. Heading into the chicane, clobbers the curbs. Okay, yeah, he clobbered the curbs, but otherwise it was fine. The car complied. He just clobbered the curbs, but that was it. The car complied through the final chicane. Oh man, understeer is just killing the guy. Yeah, Arvid pulled out a lap, man. He pulled out a lap. I didn't expect the Racing Bulls to make it into into Q3. I didn't expect it. It was gonna be a Hail Mary, because I thought Gasly, so let's just run down the top 10. 2 Ferraris, 2 McLarens, 2 Mercedes, 1 Red Bull. So that left 3 spots open. So I thought both Audis would get in there, and I thought a Gasly would get in there. So yeah, Racing Bulls, it was tied in qualifying whether they would have made it in or not. Yeah. Liam is in a similar position with Alex, in the sense that he can't get his qualifying sorted. Liam just can't get his qualifying sorted. Not sure what all that is about. With regards to Arvid, he's able to get his qualifying sorted. He's also able to carry decent race pace throughout, able to maintain position, fight with a car or two that qualified ahead of him. But yeah, jeez. George, it seems he's struggling on speed just overall throughout the lap. It just seems he doesn't have speed throughout the lap. Most of the corners, he has nothing. He has nothing in his favor. Kimi seems to be faster through the final chicane. Yeah, I picked up George having a lot of. He clobbers the inside curb, the entry curb, and he's squiggling a bit, and then he gets onto the exit curb. So he's really struggling through the chicane. And if he wants to make up time, a possible place he can do that would be the S's. The S's is purely driver dependent, with the car as well. So Q2 is a go. Q2 is a go. And Max is not in it. So Max had, I think, 4 previous poles. Can Kimi get another pole? Leclerc is in for a shot with pole. Oscar is there or thereabouts. George is struggling. Who's gonna get pole? Who's gonna get pole? Kimi opening a lap. Kimi opening his first lap in Q3. Yeah, Kimi's opening his lap. He's under time. George is also opening a lap behind Kimi. Through the S's, he's kept it straight. He's kept it pointing straight. Again, with the offboards, you can't really tell about the minor corrections that they do. They've put George's kind of onboard up. George getting slight corrections going, but it's not too bad. With Kimi, it's the offboard shot into Degna 2 for George. Keeps it tight on exit. Kimi coming out the hairpin after the Degnas. He's pushing for spoon curve. George into the hairpin. He's kept it clean. Everyone has kept it clean. George has put up his purple sector 1. So he's been faster than Kimi on this occasion into the S's. Down into 130R. The second sector split for Kimi. 111.2. So far his time is a 111.2. Georgie is a 111.4. Kimi so far has the upper hand. Kimi found 2 tenths in the middle part. Coming out the final corner to the line. 128.7. 128.778. George 129. 3 tenths down on Kimi. 3 tenths down on Kimi. Didn't see George's final chicane. Didn't see what happened over there. George again 3 tenths down. Gabby to the line. Ooh, Gabby's how many? 8 tenths down? No, 1.6 down. Lewis right now on a lap. He's got the purple sector 1. Lando. Lando is half a second down in the second sector split. Oscar is 2.5 tenths down in the second sector split. Lando to the line lost out a tenth more. So 6 tenths down, 6 and a bit tenths down. Lando. Oscar lost out as well. Oscar lost the time as well. But he's faster. Oscar is faster than Lando. Hamilton with the fastest first sector, personal best, second sector, third sector. Ooh, 8 tenths down, 8 tenths down, Hamilton. Leclerc to the line, 6.5 tenths down. 6.5 tenths down for Leclerc, 8 tenths down for Hamilton. Lando, 6 and a bit tenths down. Oscar, 3.5 tenths down. Hadjar to the line goes a second and 2 tenths down. So Hadjar, Gasly, and Bortoleto are over a second down. It seems Kimi's gonna run away with pole. Kimi's gonna run away with pole again. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Italy had to wait for quite some time for an Italian driver to get pole. And Italy are in a position where they can get back-to-back poles. Kimi has the banker in, so he just needs to go with a Hail Mary. Even if he bends the car, it's fine. He needs to just push wherever he was being cautious. He's 3 tenths up on George Russell. That means George needs more than 3 tenths to beat Kimi. So it's a lot to ask, man. It's a lot to ask to gain 3 tenths on your previous best time. It's a lot to ask. Unless those mistakes that cost you 3 tenths were that obvious, and it was those one-off mistakes, that you can just correct them on the fly. But let's see what happens. Bro, 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left. KIMI, I would put my money on KIMI. KIMI is grabbing his second pole. Back-to-back poles for KIMI. All the cars are in the pits. They're all refueling for those final runs. Max's interview is coming up. He's saying he's having mid-corner turning issues. A lot of understeer and corner entries, mid-corner as well. He thought they fixed them, but not to be. FP3, it seemed like they found the issue and Max just needed more front end, but it turns out not to be the case. Red Bull also had a different aero package this weekend. Red Bull had a different aero package. They had a different floor as well, I think. So it's not worked out as they would have wanted. A whole lot of teams bringing up bits and pieces, but I think Red Bull had a major upgrade this weekend. Yeah, not working out for us, man. Not working out for us. It's a big headache. Big headache. It seems that if we fix one problem, then something else pops up that was previously not a problem. So we can't find a sweet spot with the car. We can't find we can't keep her happy for some reason. Not sure what is going on. We can't keep her happy. So 4 minutes to go. All the cars are still in the pits. All the cars will come out at once, unfortunately, because the engineers are trying to figure out when they can get their car over the line to start the flying lap with the least amount of time left to the checkered flag. McLaren's are out, Mercedes is out, Red Bull is out, Ferrari is out. Who else is out? I think Alpine also came out. All of them are out. Everyone is gonna queue up, everyone is gonna build gaps. Then you're gonna have traffic, and then the drivers are gonna complain about traffic. But yeah. So Russell is struggling with the S's and with the final chicane. That is what Russell needs to fix. KIMI will be the first car to start the lap, followed by George, followed by the McLarens. I'm not sure where the Ferraris have slotted in. Not sure where they are, mid-pack or at the end of the pack, if they'll be the last cars over the line. Oscar. I think Oscar is in it with a shout. He had genuine pace in, I think Q2 it was. He had genuine pace. But now everyone is in full quali trim. Any tricks that they can hide in Q1 and 2 they hid, and now everything is being unleashed. KIMI through the line, past the line, into turn 1, he's kept it clean, no wiggles, no issue with over understeer. Into the S's, riding on board with KIMI. He's kept it in line. He's fighting it, but he's kept it in line. He's kept it in line through the S's into the first Degna. He's up on his quickest lap by 2 100s, 3 100s. He's kept it clean through both Degnas, even through the exit of Degna 2, heading into, oh, lock up into the hairpin. Lock up into the hairpin. He's overdriving. He can afford it. He can afford it. He has a 3 tenths buffer. He can afford it. Into the spoon curve. He's kept it fine. He's not run wide. He's not run wide on exit. Heading into 130R, coming down that straight. He is 8 tenths down on his fastest lap. If he can gain a tenth in this final sector, George, tenth, more than a tenth down. George is not improving. Kimi's got pole. Kimi, purple sector 2, but overall his lap time was slower by 6/100ths. George to the line, 4 tenths down. Kimi's got pole over George. Depends on the McLarens and Ferraris. Who's this? Lando. Lando to the line through the chicane. He's down. No, he's 9 tenths down. Lando's not improving. Oscar, personal best sector 1. Sector 3, what does he do? 4 tenths down. 4 and a bit tenths down. Hamilton 8 tenths down at the split of sector 2. Charles faster sector 1, 31.65 through sector 1. That's the guy who can challenge Kimi. Hamilton to the line, he's down 8, almost 9 tenths down. Leclerc into spoon curve, fastest sector 1. Into spoon curve, he's kept it. Oh no, he's lost it on the exit. On the exit, he had a whole lot of oversteer, whole lot of corrections. The split coming up, 3 tenths down. Yeah, 3 tenths down at the end of sector 2, 3 tenths down, for frick's sakes. Oh, Charles into sector 3, he's kept it clean through the chicane to the line. Charles Leclerc can't do anything. Kimi's on pole. Back-to-back poles for the Italian. Fantastic for the fella. Oh, Kimi. Kimi kept George under pressure, man. Kimi kept George under pressure, because if Kimi also struggled overall around his lap, George would have been more confident. But because Kimi nailed the S's, nailed the final chicane, and that is the 2 points specifically where George was struggling. Ah, Kimi. Front row lockout. Nice work, Kimi. That's the radio message to Kimi from Bono. Yeah, the last lap was a good one for Kimi. Unfortunately, just that lockup maybe would have cost him that 600ths that he went slower by. But yeah, back-to-back poles for Kimi. Front row lockout for Mercedes. Who was it Leclerc? Leclerc was third. Leclerc or Oscar was third. Hadjar and Gasly are on the same row. Just looking for this thing to load up. Where is the leaderboard? There we go. Okay. Let's run down the leaderboards, the standings of qualifying. Hamilton, by the way, to be investigated for driving slowly in the pit lane. Hamilton has been noted. He's been shown a black and white flag. Because he's been shown a flag, I'm not sure it will amount to a penalty as such, but he has been noted for driving slowly down pit lane, or is it pit exit? One of the two. Pit lane, I think it was. Let us run down the standings. Oh yes, there we go. Let's just move myself over. There we go. Make myself wider. Kimi on pole. Kimi grabs back-to-back poles. Kimi grabbing back-to-back poles. The tiny Italian. Italia had to wait all these years for an Italian driver to get pole, and Kimi's given it Italia back-to-back poles. George as well was under pressure. George consistently suffering in the final chicane and the S's. That's where he lost his times to Kimi. On the second row is Oscar and Charles. Charles was mounting pressure on Kimi's time. Ended up just having that huge oversteer. The car just didn't comply. The car stepped out and he ended up losing a whole lot of time. And he finishes P4. Charles. Oscar seemed like he had genuine pace in the middle there, but again, that Mercedes, the package, because they know their power unit better than McLaren knows their power unit, they keep that advantage between the two constructors. On the third row, Lando and Lewis on row 3. Lando P5, good effort from the guy. He struggled in qualifying, so this is a good effort from the man. But I'm not sure in the race how he will go. I think Lewis will get through Lando. I think Lando will be the slowest runner of these top 3 teams, of these top 6 drivers. After that, who do we have? After Lewis, we have row 4 with Isaac and Pierre. Is it? Yeah. Isaac and Pierre bring up row 4. Again, Isaac just pulling everything he can out that car, out that tractor. The only Red Bull to make it into Q3. So at least, something. Pierre Gasly, he's finding pace. He's finding performance in that Alpine. Alpine normally was struggling with the power unit. This year they decided to do away with the in-house power unit. They've got the Mercedes engine behind them. So Gasly is now able to compete, especially for the lower end of the points. Now, if something dramatic happens up top, maybe weather plays a role or something, and Gasly is in there for a shot. Gabby and Arvid bring up row 5 and the end of the top 10. The last 2 positions of the top 10. Not much to say, Not much to say. I thought Gabby would have had a bit more pace. He's a second and a half down on the pole time of Kimi. I thought he would have been a bit more closer, maybe around the secondish mark, maybe faster than Isaac, definitely. But okay, for Arvind, it was a good effort to bring the Racing Bull into the top 10. I didn't expect that to happen. Max knocked out of Q1. That car jumping all around, undrivable. Yeah, it looks a handful. Let's be honest. I haven't seen Isaac's onboards, so I can't compare between the two. But Max, especially for his driving style, this Red Bull is a handful. He's having a whole lot of understeer from corner entry to mid corner to exit. He's having understeer consistently. Except for the chicane, he looked good in the chicane, coming out the chicane. But, okay. Overall, you lose time, so one part where you do well, it makes no difference. Esteban in P12. I thought Esteban would make it into Q3. I thought the Hasses were looking decent for that P10-ish position at the end of Q2. So I thought maybe he would just make it in, but not to be for him. Nico Hulkenberg, he had a mistake in the final run he did, so he ended up losing time, and he couldn't get into Q3. That's where he lost his time. Liam Lawson, yeah, it was a tough day for the Racing Bulls. Didn't expect both of them to get into Q3. One of them did, but not both. Franco Colapinto brings up P15. He's driving decently. I think he's finally getting to terms with the car, the way the handling works, with the power units, with this whole energy deployment disaster that we are having. He's doing well. Carlos Sainz rounding up P16. This was the last elimination of Q2, the Williams. I mentioned one Williams will get out, one will get out of Q3, and the other will be knocked out in Q1. That is what happened. Now with Q1, the problem was Ollie Behrman. I didn't tip him off to be knocked out in Q1. He was my surprise. He was my shocker of Q1. Not sure what happened. Not sure they showed a replay of what happened to Ollie. But yeah, he just couldn't get that final lap in. Whether it was a mistake, there was traffic, what happened, not sure. So Alex in 17th, he was just losing time to Carlos, and Ollie with the shocker, and then the last four, Sergio, Bottas, and Fernando. These were not surprises, you know. These two constructors are taking up the final two positions in the grid, so no surprise over there. And that has been the tale of qualifying. Now, let me see. What do we have today? Today we have, later in the night, we have IPL. Maybe I will do the second innings watch along. Maybe. Either the whole innings or from the power play on. And then we have the sprint race. I'm not doing a live for MotoGP qualifying. For sprint I will do. But yeah, we have two lives left in the day. 2 lives left in the day. One definitely. Sprint 100% I'm doing. Just the IPL one I cannot guarantee. IPL one I cannot guarantee. So I'll see you guys for MotoGP Sprint. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. With this live I had an issue with the stream cutout, and this will be part 2. So still learning my way on YouTube. Keep encouraging me with likes, with subscribes, with comments, with views. Stick around. We're in here for the long haul. I'll see you later tonight.